Hello, I'm Oakland County Executive Dave Coulter. Welcome to this year's Oakland County Economic Outlook. In Oakland County, we have a lot to be proud of regarding our robust economy. $387 million in business investment, 737 foreign-owned firms from 34 different countries call Oakland their home away from home. 42% of the region's R&D facilities are right here, and over $56 million in private and public investments in our downtowns. All these contributions and more are the reasons why Oakland County powers Michigan's economy with 20% of the state's GDP, and why we continue to be a destination both nationally and globally. We know that the economy is shifting, and for us to stay ahead and build an economy that works for everyone, we need to not only thrive, but we need to be agile, innovative, and inclusive. The Project Diamond program is a best-in-class example, using the unbounded promise of additive manufacturing or 3D printing. Our partners at Automation Alley have worked with us through the Project Diamond initiative to help small and mid-sized manufacturers cut costs, increase productivity, and become more competitive in their digital transformation journeys as advanced technologies are disrupting traditional manufacturing methods. The Economic Outlook discussion this year is focused on our efforts to bolster advanced manufacturing businesses in Oakland County. The business community, both here and abroad, recognize that Oakland County is a prime location for their future, filled with a talented workforce and an attractive quality of life. We believe in the mobility industry of the future that relies on advanced manufacturing. Our goal is to build on the strengths of Oakland County's economy and to make sure that the opportunities for growth are accessible, inclusive, and sustainable for the long term. So now, please join me in welcoming our host, Munifa, who will guide us through today's analysis. Together, let us embark on this journey with an optimism, determination, and a shared commitment to realizing the full potential of Oakland County's economic future. Welcome, Munifa.
Thank you, Dave. Hey, everyone. It's fantastic to see you all again, especially since our last year's event. I'm truly excited to share some updates and highlights about our very own Oakland County. We've seen some remarkable developments over the past year, and I'm here to guide you through these stories and successes. So let's dive right in and explore how Oakland County is not just thriving, but excelling in various sectors. And who better to explain this but one of our favorite economists, Gabe from the University of Michigan. All right, Gabe, it's your show now.
Thanks so much for having me again this year. I'm Gabe Ehrlich, and I'm the director of the Research Seminar in Quantitative Economics. We're the forecasting group at the University of Michigan. And I'm delighted to be here to share our outlook for Oakland County's economy over the next few years with you. I wanted to start by talking about Oakland County's GDP. Oakland County continues to have the largest economy in Michigan as measured by its real GDP, or gross domestic product. In fact, Oakland County has had the highest GDP out of all of the counties in Michigan every year since the current data began in 2017. Oakland County's total GDP came to $127 billion in 2022. The next largest in the state was Wayne County, with a total GDP of $113 billion, followed by Kent County at about $54 billion. And just to put those numbers in perspective for you, Oakland County's GDP in 2022 was higher than 14 states, and Oakland ranked 30th nationally among all counties. Oakland County also accounted for over a fifth of Michigan's total GDP. On a per-person basis, Oakland's GDP came to just over $100,000 in 2022. That was the highest level of all of the counties in Michigan. The statewide average was $62,000. Oakland County's real GDP grew by 3.7% between 2019 and 2022. And it actually fell by about 3.5% in 2020, which makes the growth since 2019 even more impressive. And the final thing I want to note is that it's been a private sector recovery. The private sector accounted for over 95% of the real GDP growth in Oakland County from 2019 to 2022. Every year, we compare Oakland County to its peers on 5 measures of economic well-being: their educational attainment, child poverty, median family income adjusted for the cost of living, the share of high-income senior citizens, and the share of professional and managerial occupations. And we've been producing this ranking for as long as I can remember. So we're not stacking the deck in favor of Oakland County this year or anything like that. Oakland County ranked 9th overall on our combined ranking this year, out of 33 peer counties. And it ranked in the top 10 in terms of having a low child poverty rate, a high share of managerial and professional occupations, and high median family incomes. Oakland County's peer group contains some of the richest counties in the United States, so this is a major accomplishment, and it positions Oakland County well to keep growing in the future. We're projecting about 8,000 job gains per year in Oakland County from 2024 through 2026. That comes to growth of a bit over 1% per year. We expect the count of jobs located in the county to return to its pre-pandemic level in the first quarter of 2025, and to exceed its pre-pandemic level by 1.3% by the end of 2026. We like to break out job gains in Oakland County into 3 different groups of industries: blue-collar, higher education services industries, and lower education services industries. The blue-collar industries have been leading the way in Oakland County's recovery to date. We expect them to keep growing at a healthy pace over the next few years, with job gains in nearly all of the blue-collar industries. The higher education services industries are Oakland County's white-collar jobs. They typically require a bachelor's degree or more education, and they're actually the biggest of the 3 industry groups. These industries add the largest number of jobs over the next few years, nearly 12,000 total. The healthcare sector is one of the strongest performers in this group. The lower education services industries have been making the slowest recovery in Oakland County so far, and we don't expect them to make a full recovery from the pandemic, even by the end of 2026. The concentration of job growth in the blue and white-collar industries speaks to Oakland County's strong manufacturing base and highly educated workforce. We measure local inflation by the growth rate of the Detroit Consumer Price Index. Local inflation slowed down from 8.2% in 2022 to 5.4% last year, and prices actually declined in the 4th quarter. We're expecting headline inflation to stabilize around 2.2 to 2.4% per year over the next few years. I have to be upfront, though, that since we put this forecast together, inflation has surprised on the upside, so it could come in a little bit faster than that this year. We're still expecting substantial progress relative to the last couple of years, though. Even with the progress we expect, though, inflation will continue to run significantly higher than the pace we got used to prior to the pandemic. Local inflation averaged 1.2% per year from 2015 to 2019, and we don't expect to get back to that low pace over the next few years. Oakland County's unemployment rate stood at just 2.9% in the latest data, which was half a percentage point below its average in 2019. The number of employed county residents was about 1.3% higher than before the pandemic. We're forecasting Oakland County's low unemployment rate to persist throughout our forecast period, hovering around 3% over the next few years. That's about a percentage point below our forecast for unemployment in the state of Michigan. The recovery from the pandemic recession was very fast, historically speaking. For comparison, Oakland County had still not recovered from the downturn that began at the start of the millennium by the beginning of the pandemic 20 years later. So I think it's worth acknowledging the achievement that the county has in recovering from the pandemic so quickly. Oakland County's unemployment rate stood at only 2.9% in the most recent data, which was half a percentage point below its average in 2019. The number of employed county residents stood about 1.3% higher than before the pandemic. We're forecasting Oakland County's low unemployment rate to persist throughout our forecast period, hovering around 3% over the next 3 years. That's about a percentage point lower than our forecast for the unemployment rate in the state of Michigan. The recovery from the pandemic recession was very fast, historically speaking. For comparison, Oakland County had not recovered from the downturn that began at the start of the millennium, even by the beginning of the pandemic 20 years later. So I think it's important to acknowledge the success Oakland County has had in recovering from the pandemic recession. Oakland County enjoys a strong manufacturing base, but different parts of the manufacturing sector feature very different skill and technology profiles. The advanced manufacturing portion of the sector features more intensive use of technology than traditional manufacturing. We identified a few different groups of industries related to advanced manufacturing in Oakland County. The first is the advanced manufacturing industries themselves, such as computers and electronics, aerospace, and chemical manufacturing. These industries employ high shares of workers with a bachelor's degree or higher education, and they also tend to pay very high salaries. Next, we identified a group of industries that we call aspiring advanced manufacturing. These industries include machinery, medical equipment, electrical equipment, and motor vehicle assembly. These industries are generally still introducing advanced manufacturing technology into their production processes and changing their employment mix to include more workers with a college degree or higher education. The third category we identified is service industries that support advanced manufacturing. This group includes computer software publishing and systems design, engineering, and scientific research and development industries. Nearly 3/4 of the workers in these industries have a bachelor's degree or higher education, and they're also very well paid. 11.5% of Oakland County's employment is in advanced manufacturing and related industries, compared to the U.S. average of 6.7%. Oakland County's advantage relative to the national economy lies in the service industries that support advanced manufacturing, rather than in the production industries themselves. Therefore, Oakland County appears to be well positioned to prosper as advanced manufacturing technology becomes more widespread. By most metrics, Oakland County's economy has now recovered from the COVID-19 pandemic and recession, and we're projecting more growth from here. We expect a low unemployment rate, moderating inflation, and ongoing job growth. By our measure, Oakland County continues to stack up favorably against its peer counties. Oakland County's high quality of life and vibrant local economy continue to position the county well to continue thriving in the years ahead.
Well, what an enlightening journey we've had today. I hope you all found the discussions as inspiring and informative as I did. It's clear that our community and its leaders are committed to fostering growth and innovation right here in Oakland County. Let's keep this momentum going as we look forward to another year of prosperity and progress. Until next year, because here in Oakland County, we're always moving forward.